Phillies are to blame for Eagles' three-game road trip in October. Originally appeared on nbcsportsphiladelphia.com. You know that three-game road trip the Eagles have in the middle of October. You can blame Bryce Harper, according to NBC Sports' Peter King. Really, Eagles-Phillies won at AngeloCataldi alert, from the Peter King podcast dropping in the morning on NFL sked. The only three-game road trip this year, not counting Oct and TB having home games in London, is Eagles October 13, 2027 at Min, at Doll, at Buff. Why? Bryce Harper and the Phils, Peter King, at Peter_King, April 18, 2019 Eagles PHILS 2 schedules are Howard Katz told me, we usually ignore the Phillies when it comes to stadium blocks. But I don't think we can this year. Stadium blocks occur when NFL avoids scheduling a home NFL game in a city when league thinks MLB team will be playing same day. Peter King, at Peter_King, April 18, 2019 Eagles PHILS 3. How about the Bryce Harper signing influencing the NFL schedule? It happened. Peter King, at Peter_King, April 18, 2019 This is kind of wild. The NFL schedule makers really looked at the Phillies roster and decided they might be a team to go deep in the playoffs. It does seem possible, but we might be jumping the gun a little. Although, on our Eagle Eye podcast last night, Reuben Frank did say the Eagles wouldn't be at home in October because the Phils would be in the World Series. I thought he was joking, but here's the Eagles' schedule. After a home game against the New York Jets on October 6, the Eagles are on the road for 3 straight weeks, when the Phillies could theoretically be in the playoffs. Week 6 at Min on October 13 at 1 p.m. Week 7 at Doll on October 20th at 8:20 p.m. Week 8 at BUF on October 27th at 1 p.m. For reference, the 2018 World Series wrapped up with a Game 5 on October 28. The Eagles host the Bears at 1 p.m. on November 3, so maybe we'll have an NFL playoff rematch in Game 7 of the World Series in South Philadelphia later this year. Are we getting ahead of ourselves a bit? After the Eagles have these 3 road games, they are home for 3 straight too. Still, the 3-game trip on the road isn't ideal. At least there's not a West Coast trip in there somewhere. In September of this year, the Eagles host games on September 8, Washington, and September 22, Detroit. The NFL has the benefit of seeing the MLB regular season schedule before putting out theirs. So on September 8, the Phillies are at the Mets, and on September 22, they're in Cleveland. This is the way the NFL always handles these two teams. They make sure the Eagles are away when the Phillies are home. The last time the Eagles and Phillies played on the same day in South Philly was October 2, 2011. That was also the last year the Phillies were in the playoffs. On that day, the times were staggered. The Eagles kicked off at 1 p.m. against the 49ers at the Lincoln. The Phillies' first pitch against the Cardinals in the NLDS was at 8:37 p.m. The Eagles lost 24-23 and the Phillies lost Game 2, 5-4. There were 69,144 people at the Link that day and 46,575 at Citizens Bank Park that evening. I'd guess a lot of folks pulled the sports complex doubleheader that day. It won't be possible this year. Click here to download the My Teams app by NBC Sports. Receive comprehensive coverage of your teams and stream the Flyers, Sixers and Phillies games easily on your device. More on the Eagles. Let's block ads. Why?